This episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports and esports app that eliminates the countless hours of research usually involved with fantasy sports. Chris, you like research and fantasy?
No, I hate it. I could barely read.
Bob, you like reading? I mean, researching fantasy?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I am a head researcher at a major hospital, so I'm all about the research.
All right, if you're not all about the research, though, Thrive Fantasy is the app for you. It only focuses on the top-tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. All you got to do is you choose 5 out of the 10 available player props, or 10 out of 20 if you're playing an NFL game, to build your lineup. Each prop is assigned a fantasy value for both the over and the under based on how likely it is to hit. Hit the most props, get the most points, and win some money. It is that simple. Thrive has awarded over $1.5 million in cash to date. Some sweet, sweet money. So to start raking in the dough, please go ahead, because we want to give you a little bit of something. We're not just trying to. I have never been doing this for myself. We want to make sure that everybody else is getting money with us. So make sure that you register for Thrive Fantasy using promo code WGG when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant $25 match on your first deposit of $25 or more. Chris, you like free money?
Love free money, Dom.
Bob, you like free money?
I am a fan.
So get started today using promo code WGG via the Thrive Fantasy app on iOS or Google Play Store, or by visiting their website at thrivefantasy.com. Once again, promo code WGG, $25 in your bank account for free $99. So go download the app and prop up with us today. Now, without further ado, enjoy episode 198 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It is your boy, Papa Dom. We are back live and direct, feeling real good, feeling real exhausted after a very long week, but we are also just here for you, as always, 198 episodes strong, your internet dads. We are here just to cradle you, to caress you, and just make you feel good. And I could not possibly, in my right mind, ever do this without my beautiful co-host, my first co-host. When he's not drinking booze or chuffing darts, he's keeping us up to date on all the esports and gaming news that you care about, and or potentially throwing haymakers at his own PC desk. Chris P., how we feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Good to be back, you know. I feel like these weeks have been flying by, and the only way I'm able to really keep track of my week is the podcast. I'll wake up and be like, holy shit, it's already Thursday again. It's kind of nuts, but I'm feeling good, you know, just crack the cold daddy, but I hang out with the guys a little bit, you know, chop it up, talk shop. But it's your boy, Chris P., the tallest and the lankiest.
And my other co-host, you might find him on Tuesdays or other days now, because we're streaming Among Us here, right here on twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming. Or you could also catch him predicting major industry moves before the movers even think of making them. The Bishop of Barbells, the Sultan of Sleeve Ripping himself, Dr. Bob, how we feeling?
I'm doing good. You know, it's been a crazy week with work. I got my flu shot today, and I had the old Italian meatball lady of a nurse. When I sat down, she said, "We're not going to be able to use a small needle on you. Your muscles are too big."
Oh, shut
Oh
the shit.
my God.
So she had.
All right, folks, that's it for Not Another Gaming Podcast this week.
She had
Thank
to crack
you
out
so
the
much.
long needle.
I heard they had to strap you down because you were too scared of getting a shot.
I was terrified. But hey, I'll take the ego boost. Thank you, old Italian meatball nurse.
Did she give you like a little manicotti instead of like apple juice and a cookie? She just gave you like a little Carlo Rossi and a little.
She said your muscles are too big. We have to use the big one. Then she pinched my tricep, and then she jabbed it in and told me to leave.
Good thing she didn't look at your legs. She would go back on that. Built
All
like
right,
SpongeBob head ass.
All right. Shut up, Chris. Fucking Gumby looking idiot.
Oh my God, your arms are way too big. Oh, you got to use the big needle? No. We're just gonna put it on your calves.
Oh my God,
Man, we also have a very special guest with us today. Aside from looking like straight off the set of Raging Bull right now, he is the CEO of BitFry Games and the creator of the Ultimate Rival series, which you can play right now if you're an Apple Arcade user. Mr. Ben Freidlin, how is it going?
Thanks for having me. It's great. I got to tell you, I've had more fun in the virtual run-up to this opening than I have in the last 6 months of doing anything else.
Nice. Love to hear it.
Love to hear that.
Yeah.
Love to hear that. And the good news is now that you have been on the show, you are automatically considered a friend of the program. So we can say friend of the program, Ben Freidlin, and you get to come on whenever you want. That's actually all the rights and privileges herein.
I would jump at that chance again, and we haven't even started yet. So
awesome to hear. Love to hear it. Welcome on. So, as always, just like we always do, we're gonna get started. We're gonna talk about a little Ultimate Rivals with Ben. We're gonna talk about some arcade sports games. We're gonna be talking about a whole lot of good stuff. A whole lot of gang shit. But first, before we do that, because we just can't rush into things, we're gonna do a little weekend recap.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right, Ben, since you are our guest of honor, we're going to roll out the red carpet for you. How was your weekend? Have you been playing any games recently? How's everything going?
Well, we've been so busy wrapping up on the beta of our upcoming NBA entry to the game that I've really been working 20 hours a day and not much else. But other than that, it's been good. I am playing a lot of shoot 'em ups on my Dreamcast for a couple of reasons. One, I enjoy them, but also looking for some inspiration in how we think about designing elements of our sports games based on some of those lessons of the past. And other than that, just intermittent fasting and playing Dreamcast and working on NBA.
Love that.
I have a general question. Do you consider Cuphead a shmup?
That's a great question. I don't think that's more like a run and gun platformer, right? I mean, to me, a shmup, I don't consider Contra a shmup either. I mean, it's a subcategory of shmup. I think more like a Mars Matrix or something. A lot more, with a ship and a lot of enemies coming down at you. To me, that's what I mean when I say a shmup. Do you consider?
Yeah. So I consider who's the doctor, the junkyard doctor in Cuphead. That 100% to me is a shmup.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now I gotta Google search this. Yeah. Cuphead robot. Dr. Cal's robot. That's all shmup to me.
That moment, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. Everything else, kind of run and gun, I suppose.
Run and gun kind of platformer, yeah. I mean, games today, I think, are mixing a lot more of the genres that we grew up with. Back in the day, you had you made one genre, and that was kind of it. But today, you see it mixing and matching. We're doing it with Ultimate Rivals. We're building a lot of the fighting game elements into the upcoming basketball game. You'll see a lot more of that than you even saw in the hockey game. So sometimes it works, and it can be dangerous if you go too far off the path of what people are expecting. And but you got to be able to experiment. Otherwise, you're not really going to create any new moments and fun.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can rehash something that's already been done. It's figuring out how to make it your own afterwards, and you guys are clearly doing that.
Yeah, I feel like I've said that a billion times too, where like majority of things exist, right? I mean, let's just say it how it is. Everything already exists, but it's all about taking something that exists and is proven to work and kind of pivoting it in a different direction to make it your own, as Bob was saying. What's so funny?
What does that sentence even mean? Everything already exists.
Like everything you could possibly think of when it comes to like any industry probably exists.
Chris, no, that was just the way you said like the majority of things exist. And like that just
Did I sound smart? A little smarter?
No, you didn't. You were attempting to. But
Chris is like just walk up to like a bar and just like, listen here, honey. So the majority of things exist, and all the.
but that's the mystery, Cod.
Yeah.
The great night will happen. Is it great? Yeah. What is great? You know what I mean? Like it's a mystery, Cod.
You trying to blend genres with me?
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Listen, just listen to me.
I'm gonna use that.
That's the kid.
You're right though. There is not a lot of new ideas out there. That's why I think there's so many remakes in games and films right now, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Oh, don't validate Chris. You don't need to validate him.
No, Ben and I are on the same wavelength, man. Maybe it's you guys that you guys just can't keep up. I mean, Ben and I, we're seeing eye to eye right now. We get it.
Jesus, Chris, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. A lot of living room drinks. I didn't go out. The Celtics played. I believe that was last Friday. A nice Game 7. So that was real fun to watch. Took a couple dozen drinks for a ride in the living room. As I've said time and time again, you don't get hungover if you drink at your own house. It's just science. That's it. What I don't know what it is, and it's not like I'm running to the. Yeah, I drink sink water. It's not like I'm running to the sink every 10 seconds and getting water. I probably don't drink any, but I'm in the comfort of my own home. So the booze god just blessed me with no hangover. It's great.
That's it.
It's phenomenal.
It's just like along the same line. Like any food you cook for yourself at home is healthy food. It doesn't matter if technically I'm not eating bad if I like make eggplant parm at home like 5 nights a week.
No, it's good for you. I mean, it's a vegetable. You know, it's good for you. I don't care.
The nightshade vegetable, they're not really good for you.
Oh shit!
Yeah, all right, Ben. But it's a vegetable. It says vegetable. It's good. I mean, one thing I do want to throw in. This did not happen on the weekend, but today I tried McDonald's spicy nuggets for science and for dinner, and let me tell you, elite. They were incredible. I didn't want them to run out. And this is coming from someone who ate a 20-piece in 2 minutes and 29 seconds, which I think is a very good time. I had a 10-piece, probably lasted like, I don't know, call it a minute and 20 seconds. They were great. Little ranch. Incredible.
Need to make the next, I mean, I don't want to like put too many ideas in your brain tonight, Ben, but like have you considered an Ultimate Rivals game with like competitive eating? Cuz if so,
I've heard a lot of ideas. That's a new one.
If you want to leak it on the podcast, leak it.
It's like a Nathan's hot dog eating contest kind of sponsor.
Yes.
Oh, if you need special unlockable characters, we're right here. I mean, we're right here.
Like a Coney Island like kind of environment, and have you come in and just see how many you can eat.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
You got to eat them with one hand, and then, but like the combat component, you get like a t-shirt gun. Or like a hot dog gun or something like that, and you got to shoot them at your opponent. And then you have to dodge the people from like PETA who come up to like try to throw red paint on you. And
wow, you know what?
All right, we gotta go to the patent office.
Look, we tell people all the time we've done everything under the gaming umbrella, anything under the gaming sun except for make our own game. And I think we got to go. I think we got to follow this lead, guys.
You're welcome to come up here. You're not far away from our headquarters. You can come up and we can do some design sessions. And, once it's safe,
Let's go.
Let's go. I'll do that. I'm going to give Joey Chestnut a buzz later on. Good friend of mine. I'm going to give Joey Chestnut a buzz and be like, hey, get something in the works. I can't wait for him to tweet the GIF of signing a contract. It's going to be incredible. This game's going to be great, Ben. I can't wait to work with you.
We can game jam that over the weekend. I bet you the guys are, the gals at BitFry are working on it right now already.
Let's go.
All right, cool.
Let's
Can't
go.
wait.
I'll bring the hot dogs. I'm putting my grill in my truck right now. We're heading up there. Bob, how was your weekend?
It was good. I did a lot of boozing as well, as per tradition. And I have been nonstop streaming Among Us ever since last Thursday. Every single night, we are getting people together every single night for full 10-man lobbies, 10-man and woman lobbies, 10-person lobbies. Everybody is getting together, okay? And we are grinding Among Us. And I am not gonna lie, Chris, you have to back me up on this. Don't put your hat down over your eyes, okay? Bring it back up. You need to see this, you need to hear this, and you need to agree with me. I'm kind of fucking dirty. I'm kind of really good at.
Well, you sit till 5 a.m. watching YouTube videos. Anyone would be good. Get a life.
I'm kind of really good at the game.
Just a con on. I'm terrible, man. I'm so bad. Like, I've almost alt F4'd like every game I played. Because for some reason, no one believes me with anything. Like, I can be super quiet. Everyone's like, oh, Chris is being a little sus right now, too quiet. But if I'm talking and defending myself, nope, Chris is talking too much. Like, I can't find the happy medium. I get voted off every time.
You just gotta stick with the happy meals.
I guess so. Tom, how was your weekend?
You know what, Chris? I'm so glad you asked. It wasn't bad. We've been in the new house now for a couple weeks, so this is like kind of like our first weekend really that we could just stay in the house and enjoy it. And we had a little company over the weekend. That was really nice. Just really finally kind of settling in, which is great. So just like you were saying, a couple beverages at home, a couple refreshments here and there, nothing too crazy, not getting too wild. But yeah, all in all, just a nice low key weekend. I've been playing a lot of Spellbreak. Spellbreak has been a ton of fun. I was playing with a couple other folks in the community. I'm not the best at it. I am pretty goddamn good. But I do have like 6 squad wins already, and I feel really good about that. I almost had my first solo win today. And I feel like I'm like, what am I doing right now? Like I feel like an 8-year-old playing Fortnite. I'm like I'm having so much stupid fun. And I also, just to like mentally prepare for this evening, I dusted off the Super Nintendo and I was playing a little NBA Jam Tournament Edition before dinner, just to like get myself in the zone. Little John Stockton put up like 90 points. Crazy, just good from anywhere, dude. So speaking of sports, speaking of just great games, just great people. So Ben, you are the CEO of BitFry Games, which and the flagship series is Ultimate Rivals. So for those of the folks at home who somehow do not know what Ultimate Rivals is, give us a little rundown on what is Ultimate Rivals and like why do people need it in their lives?
It is the first ever arcade action sports franchise that lets you take every athlete from every sport, nearly every sport, and play with them in any team configuration across any other sport. So we launched our hockey game, The Rink, which is an NHL licensed game, on Apple Arcade last December. We have athletes from the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the U.S. Women's Soccer team, obviously the NHL, the WNBA, as well as Wayne Gretzky. And you can draft your hockey team. You're in this NHL environment and play arcade action, fast-paced arcade action hockey with all of your favorite athletes. So, Jose Altuve and, Gretzky and LeBron James can be on a hockey team if that's how you want to play. And every athlete brings over attributes from their position and their sport that make them unique and allow you to dream up the most fantastical combinations of teams you can think of.
Love that.
Sick.
Love that. So like Chris is a big fan of like the backyard sports games. I know that. I've been a huge fan. I'm like a big arcade sports guy. I mean, NBA Jam is like a top 5 game all time for me.
Yep.
So how did you, when you guys were in the process of making Ultimate Rivals, how did you go from let's just make a hockey game and let's get all the athletes from the NHL or like maybe, folks from, past and present NHL players to let's get every athlete from every sport? Because I feel like that's kind of a big leap to make. How did you guys decide that was going to be really like the ultimate, like the core of Ultimate Rivals?
It was a very circuitous path because originally when I started the company, I just wanted to make a baseball video game. And originally I had no intellectual property, no licenses. And I was inspired by movies like Field of Dreams and The Natural. And the game was set in the 1920s. It was a baseball arcade game set in the 1920s. And over the laborious years of trying to build out a business strategy off the backs of a game set in the 1920s for baseball, we realized we had an opportunity to make a licensed baseball game and eventually to build an entire franchise of titles that deeply connected to each other. And we began a long, arduous, multi-year quest to get all those licenses into one business plan and one model. And it took many years, many meetings, many ups and downs, and many lows and a couple big highs. And then finally, we brought the vision to life last year on Apple Arcade. And we're just getting started. I mean, what you saw with hockey, we built that game in 8 months. Believe it or not, that's our studio built that in 8 months.
Wow.
We've made 50 updates to it, and we're close to finishing our NBA game, which, to take nothing away from the hockey game, which I love and is going to continue to mature, I'm really excited about. We just hit our beta milestone. It's phenomenal. I can't wait to bring it out and have you guys play it.
Can't wait.
And yeah, there's a long road ahead. So we have a lot of plans, and we can't talk about every one of them, but the vision was and is and continues to be letting you play every sport with every athlete in the way that only you can imagine. And we live in an era now where you have Minecrafts and you have almost every game can be deconstructed and played the way you want. And it seemed like it was time to let arcade sports also be part of that phenomenon.
Love that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, because like you had that initial idea in your head for the 1920s baseball game, but at the same time, obviously, I'm assuming it went through your head. When I stand back and I look at like arcade sports games, there's such a void in that market right now where like if someone came in and they did it right, it would crush, which is what you guys are doing. But when you guys were first setting it up, did you guys see that void in the market?
Yeah, I mean, my reason for starting the entire company was I was frustrated with the lack of games in this category. You know, I grew up playing games like, you know, Blades of Steel, you know, Baseball Simulator 1000 from Culture Brain, which was kind of a cult sleeper hit on the NES, and then of course all the great midway games. You know, NBA Jam is a gold standard. A lot of great titles out of them, and they went away. You know, we had, I think, a rush towards realism and hyper authenticity. A lot of that came from 3D graphics getting better and better, and publishers and studios chasing realism, which made sense at the time because people wanted to see how far can you push, you know, computer games to be like real life. And that was an interesting, I think, path for the industry to take, but it left out a lot of opportunity for the category that we're in now. And I think people love deconstructing sports into the most fun elements, right? And breaking a lot of the rules and the tropes that, you know, maybe make sports a little monotonous at times. And I think when you have the creativity, you know, you have the ability to kind of take those things and mix them up and change the rules a bit, you can create something that's special and very unique.
Yeah, and like it hits a different like group of people in my eyes too, because we're all sports guys. So kind of if you threw a new sports game in front of me, I would play it. I like sports. I don't find them boring. Like what I'm gonna say is people who aren't into traditional sports, they could find watching a baseball game very boring. They could find playing MLB The Show very boring. But when you're able to kind of break down that wall where, hey, you don't have to play it the normal way, like it's still hockey. It's still basketball, but guess what? There's like fighting mechanics in it. You could pick someone like if you're a big hockey guy, but not basketball. Yeah, guess what? You could have Wayne Gretzky be a point guard. So you kind of allow people to you break down that wall, like I said, where you allow people to experience sports in a different way. So it's really cool.
And speaking of like just kind of the void right now, so I mean, we've seen in the last couple of years, we've seen like the major sports franchises like Madden and 2K. I mean, they've come out with like arcade-ish versions where like Madden this year has the yard, 2K has the park and stuff like that. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like how, you know, it just seems like companies are trying to kind of like dip their toe in and just try to like maybe attract those fans over to the more sim type sports games. I mean, are you a fan of those modes? Have you tried any of those out? Any thoughts on kind of like those in the space?
Yeah, I mean, I've you know, I'm aware of them, and I think it's a great thing. I think it's a really good thing when the biggest players in the industry are creating games like this. I mean, I welcome it. I think it confirms, you know, kind of the thesis of what we've been saying at BitFry for the last, you know, six and a half years. So, and look, we're very different at how we look at the world of sports video games. We consider ourselves commercial artists.
Yeah.
We're obviously a business, but we're looking at this through the lens of how do we do something that's never been done before. And I think the differentiation for us is the crossover of athletes from different sports. It's set in a fictional universe in the future. We didn't really get a chance to frame that in our first game just because of the amount of time we had to produce it. But you're going to see some elements of that in the upcoming basketball game. You're going to see potentially even a comic book treatment.
Wow.
Really to kind of frame the whole world really, and give it some texture. And I think what we're going to do and what we have done and where we're going is it's going to be different. And I'm glad to see those companies creating those games. I think it's a good thing. I think the more we have, look, I grew up on the NES. We had like 6 licensed baseball games at one point. You know, I don't think of it as a bad thing. I think there's a lot of gamers out there. There's tens and tens of millions of them. And the more of that stuff we have in the market, it's a healthy thing. I wouldn't want to see this category dry up. I wouldn't want to see just one player in it. I think that doesn't, you know, that hasn't bode well for certain franchises in the category. I think it's a good thing to have competition, and a lot of it's complementary. I don't even think of it necessarily directly competitive. It's just, you know, it's part of the genre. If you look at other genres, you have, you know, 25,000 different shooters, right? You know, there's not just 4 shooters. There's not just one shooter. And I think, you know, it's tricky because you have licenses and there's a business behind that. And you have to think carefully about how you do that. But I'm happy to see it.
Sure, definitely.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
So Ben used the word circuitous.
Fuck, I knew you were going to call
can
me out
you
on
give
that.
us
Can I
can
tell
you
you
give
something?
us the closest definition to that, please? Whenever. Yes,
Uh,
Ben, you first.
yeah,
No,
go
Chris.
ahead.
Chris, don't Google anything because I know that's exactly what you're doing, Ben.
I had a feeling that we were going to have a vocabulary conversation today.
I was about to tell you your vocabulary was phenomenal. You said 15 words that like I was drooling. I had no idea what they meant.
All right, so Chris, what's the closest definition to circuitous that you could find without Google searching? Because I know you already typed it in.
Can I ask Ben to use it in a sentence?
He already did.
Again,
Yeah, another one.
our path to the dozen plus or however many licenses I've lost count that we have in Ultimate Rivals was a very circuitous path.
Long.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Sort of like
Detailed.
Like winding, you know.
unpredictable, maybe.
You know what,
Yeah.
Chris? Okay.
Give me
That's
like
good.
half the points. I
I'll give
mean,
you half a point.
I don't know.
It wasn't not wrong, but
Good.
yeah.
Fair point.
So, just in, I mean, and I love that you mentioned that, you might be getting the comic book treatment. You're going to be kind of fleshing out, like what are all these sports legends doing in one game? For me, like if I know that there's lore in a game at all, I am going to spend 900 hours like absorbing every single little bit of it that I possibly can. Good buddy of mine actually works for Proletariat, who produced Spellbreak, and I was like, hey, is there lore in this game? And he was like, buddy, buckle up. And I was just like, great, you know exactly how to get me. I'm in there. So
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I love that, and cool company in the local area too. I like those guys. I think you're right. Like sports games, it's tricky because they're based in a set of real people. So it's a tricky treatment, and we're still working on it, and we're not officially releasing it yet. But our chief creative officer, Mark Nelson, who came over from Bethesda and worked on Elder Scrolls, has a huge history of writing RPG stories and characters, and there's a way to create, I think, sort of a fiction that coincides next to real people, in a game. And I think that makes the potential for what we're doing really interesting. And we're sort of what I would call a future sports subgenre of arcade sports. If you go back to like the Bitmap Brothers and Speedball 2 on the Amiga 500, or games like Cyberball, and there were quite a few games actually back in the late 80s that combined sports with semi-dystopian futuristic back settings, and
right.
That's kind of what we're trying to do in a fun way, not too serious, and I think that's exciting.
Hold on. I might have a tinfoil hat moment right now, because I know a movie that does something pretty similar. So do you mind, everybody mind just putting your tinfoil hats on real quick?
Come on.
And you don't need to answer this. Okay? You don't need to answer this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. You guys are going to have a Space Jam expansion at some point in the future. You guys already got LeBron. We're going to see the Monstars. It's going to happen. You don't blink twice. Blink twice.
It's a really good idea. It's an idea that's come up. I mean, I haven't spoken, we haven't spoken officially to the rights holders of that film or IP, but it's a cool idea. It's come up before.
And this is me. Maybe I'm like naive to the whole thing, but this is like a question about kind of when you like get these athletes in the game. Is it something where you have to approach them and they have to like sign off on being in the game, or is there some sort of like legality that's like, okay, you can do that without their kind of okay?
Yeah, we have licenses with the player unions. All the player unions manage the rights for the players, the professional athletes, unless we're talking about like Wayne, and then it's a direct relationship. But the NFL Players Association, the Major League Baseball Players Association, the NBA Players Association, the NHL Players Association, and so forth, they all manage those rights, and we have licenses with them to use the likeness and the number of the athletes.
Oh,
Nice.
So what was that word that you used that I didn't know again? Sorry to make you repeat it. Circuitous?
Arduous? Yeah, I don't know. Arduous?
Was it Circuitous?
Oh my god!
I
Oh
give
my
up.
God.
Move on. So now I can see why like the process was a winding road.
There you
was-
go.
Because
This podcast
Especially-
is fun and educational.
We got to end the educational part. We got to get there.
yeah, my brain's leaking out of my ears right now. I can't take anymore.
So throughout the whole like negotiating the different licenses and partnering with the different players unions, did you get to rub elbows with any particularly cool athletes or anybody that you had been dying to meet?
Well, it's funny. Along the way, when I was looking before we got to all this licensed sports stuff, and we were really at a point making a game based on a baseball setting in the 1920s, and I was inspired by the movie The Natural. I was trying to track down Charlie Sheen to do voiceover work for.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and I spent like a year and a half looking for him, and eventually I met two different people who said that they knew a friend and a manager of his, and eventually they both led me to the same person. That turned out to be Todd Zeal, who played 16 years in the majors, 20 professionally. Cardinals, Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, Cubs, a lot of other teams. And Todd happened to be friends with Charlie and worked with him on anger management. And so the first time I ever walked into the office to meet the commissioner of Major League Baseball, I actually got a little panicky because I was thinking, I don't know if I really belong in this office. I need to bring a buddy. So I was talking to Todd. I never met him. And he agreed to fly out and kind of be my wingman in that meeting. And then after that, he got involved very heavily, and he's an official part of the company. He has been for years. But when we're working on the licenses together, and he helped a lot with that, we eventually met up with Wayne Gretzky, who was a friend of his, and he happened to be in New York City with the Oilers one night, and the Oilers just happened to be playing the Rangers, and we just like thought of it at the last second, and we went to the Garden like in the middle of the second period, and at the end of the game, we went down underneath the Garden. We met Wayne.
Oh, that's so sick.
I have to say, for me, who I'm a New Yorker, but I did live in Halifax, Nova Scotia for 3 years when I was 5 years old in the 80s, and Wayne was my first sports hero. So getting to meet Wayne, by total accident, was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong network that you got there. That is a pretty wild. I mean, and so like, did he live up to it? Like, was he like a nice guy, and you were like,
really?
damn.
Oh yeah, he was very humble. I just listened to him chat with Todd for 3 minutes, but he was humble, really nice guy, and was fascinating to meet him. And there's been other athletes. We've had a couple other people, like Big Poppy is an investor in BitFry.
Love that.
I've had to learn to love the Boston sports teams.
That's right, baby.
Yep.
Does it just like
as much as you love to hate him, you had to.
Does it like
Yeah.
when you like just scroll past Brad Marchand in like the menu and picking your team? Do you just get like heartburn or like what?
Really good in the game.
He's nasty.
No. Ryan Howard from the Phillies is also an investor and has become a good friend and supporter.
Nice.
The Big Piece.
Love that.
So we've got a lot of really cool athletes, and yeah, you do. I mean, at a certain point, you keep it professional because we're trying to do business, but it is fun to see some of your sports heroes and get to work with them. I think when I met Todd, the first thing I said to him was, I said, I had your Stratomatic baseball card and your Topps card, and I said, you looked a lot different. You looked a lot different back in 19.
That's so cool. That's an unreal network, man. I mean, that whole list you just went through, that's really, really cool. And like you said, you got to keep it professional, but I know me, where like if it's something where we get like we bump into someone that we look up to within the industry, there's going to be some sort of like starstruck from them that you have to work past. But like I feel like I would go through that every time. Like if I bumped into David Ortiz, I don't know if I'd be able to contain myself from like being super excited. I mean, that guy's a legend. Ryan Howard, obviously, Gretzky. That's really cool.
I met Wayne Gretzky before.
But at the mall when they were taking pictures.
No, me and my dad, when I was working with my dad, I worked with my dad growing up, but we were delivering furniture. And I think he lived in Newton at the time. I don't fucking remember. But I was like 14, and we delivered a couch to his house. Still have his autograph.
Huh.
Yeah,
Really?
met him, shot a couple of hoops in his driveway.
Oh
Probably
my god, he was like
bricks off the backboard too.
Not a big deal.
Building a
I was
house.
oh fine. I'll tell you the real story.
I dunked on Wayne
I
Gretzky.
dunked over Wayne Gretzky. Fine.
I never thought that like Bob would just eclipse himself in such a way, but he's just like, yeah, so there I was, draining threes in Wayne Gretzky's face.
Dude, I'm not. I can't make this story up. I delivered a couch to his fucking house when I was like 14 years old with my dad.
And there I was in Wayne Gretzky's driveway. I put the illest crossover on him, and I broke his ankles, and then I drained a step-back three-pointer, and he had to move out of Newton because he was so upset.
And then he moved to New York a couple years later, and that's when Ben met him. Right there.
It's like it's fate. This is fate.
He was like an hour later in like the movie of his life. He like screen wipes to like some random fucking tavern in Newton, and he's sobbing into a glass of whiskey, and he's like some 14-year-old just
with a full beard,
just wetted a step back three in my face. A 14-year-old with a full beard. I didn't know he could do it with legs so thin. I didn't think he would be so nimble.
Oh my god.
So speaking of Wayne Gretzky, so he's in the rink. And I know that the idea for Ultimate Rivals is to have like this whole roster of athletes, and then they're in every game. So now, are you planning to expand with more like legacy or like legendary athletes that are coming to the series, or is Wayne Gretzky like has he been kind of like the tip of the iceberg there?
Tip of the iceberg. I mean, thanks to his relationship with Todd, we were able to get him involved fairly early, but. We have a number of NBA legends coming along with the release of the court. I can't speak to them yet, but we'll announce them soon. We'll let you know.
If you want to leak like one on the podcast, like just
you know what, maybe we'll come back, and if I'm invited back with my vocabulary, if it's okay with you.
Door is wide. You don't need to be humble. Door's wide open. You can come back whenever.
Like I said, you're a friend of the program. You're a card carrying friend of the program now. So you just come on whenever.
No doubt. Like, we actually have a vision to have not just athletes, but, pop figures that would fit authentically.
Podcasters.
Definitely. Especially New England podcasters.
Ben, watch this. Ready? Tell me you don't want this in your basketball game. Ready? I mean, that's money. That's money.
We're going to do concept art. We're working that up right now.
It's going to be Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, and Chris P.
Hold on. I can get you some concept art right now. Let me just Google search Gumby real quick.
Oh, go to bed.
Oh my god. It's like Stretch from NBA Street Volume 2.
That guy was sick. I'll take that. That's fine. Stretch was sick.
What's your favorite sports arcade game of all time, Ben?
It's going to be Baseball Simulator 1000, which is on the NES. You can play in outer space. It's a crazy game. It was the first baseball video game that I know of that had a memory pack that lets you play a full 162 game season on your NES with 6 people, couch co-op, full recording of all stats. I've put like a $50,000 bounty for anyone in the studio who can beat me on that game.
Wow.
I can give it that big a number because nobody seems to be able to do it. So, if you ever want to, have me on and we could play a game, if you think you can beat that.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm down to try. It'll be good content at the end of the day.
Can't win if you don't play.
That's right. That's what they say when I play Keno. I say that to myself every time I go out with my Keno ticket. Can't win if you don't play.
Hands are shaking and give it to the cashier. Any like modern arcade games, like outside of the kind of like SNES era, like last 10, 15 years, that have really caught your eye?
I mean, I think I just go back to NBA Jam. It's the benchmark. I've been playing a lot of basketball games lately. I mean, I have a Neo Geo that I set up with a lot of old games, and there's some basketball games on that platform from the arcade that are pretty interesting. But for the most part, like I'm a fan of the Midway games in terms of more contemporary fare. I realize that's probably more than 15 years ago already, right? That's
whatever. I guess contemporary, really, anything like that's more like in a contemporary sense. Yeah, 32-bit
era. Yeah. How about you?
NBA Jam for me, and then like I guess in terms of more like modern arcadey game, NBA Street Volume 2 is another one of my favorites. Just that game probably came out. When did NBA Street Volume 2 come out? I want to say it was like 07, 06. Yeah. So yeah, 03. So I was like 12 when that game came out. So that helped to, the art style was just so good. like all that retro basketball. My dad actually loved that game because he's like one of those guys. We were watching the Eastern Conference finals the other night, and he's like, "Kid, this isn't how they used to play basketball. Back in the day, they weren't just running up and down the court and jacking up threes. I used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes in the Boston Garden, and I'd be falling out of the balcony by the third quarter. And back when blocking wasn't a stat." But like, so he was really into that because of the art style, and like because they all had the 1963 NBA Finals shorts that came up to like right below the ball bag. It was just like all that aesthetic was great, and then like the old school hip hop soundtrack really helped to shape my taste in music. As like a 12-year-old, I was like, this is not stuff that they play on the radio, and this is before Spotify and everything else. Sure. So all my favorite music came from the Tony Hawk games and the EA Sports games, and so that like helped instill a love of that culture in me too. So that's probably one of my favorites ever.
There's also an NFL entry in that lineup, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. NFL Street was also really good. The first 2 were excellent. I don't think I played the third one, but
then you missed the whole generation of NHL Hits, NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for me, the midway games were probably the sweet spot of of this whole genre, but there's been other things, and I mean, we look for inspiration from all these different games. I mean, when we think about how to make them different, but at the same time, how to learn from the lessons of the past. So I agree. Like, there's more than just Jam. I mean, even in basketball, I've been playing hoops on Neo Geo, 3v3. It's clearly trying to play a lot like Jam, but there's some things in there that are interesting. And then again, like, do you play fighter games that much, or are you mostly just into sports?
I mean, I've always been a big Mortal Kombat guy, but like I'm no good at Street Fighter or anything else. But Mortal Kombat has always been one of my deep loves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't grasp it. I think people that play fighting games are brilliant. They have like the reaction time. Their reaction time is crazy. I can never really like do that. Obviously, I don't know vocabulary. I barely know English. Yeah. But I have a question for you really quick, Ben, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But what is stopping BitFry from going to Humongous Entertainment and be like, hey, do you mind if we buy just like a couple licenses from your players for our basketball game? Maybe we want Dmitry Petrovic or Pablo Sanchez. Would you be able to do anything like that? Once again, you don't have to answer it, if it's, but it's where my brain goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we have first of all, we're always thinking about who to put in the game next. I mean, we have some plans for people to come in the game that will, are pretty awesome and surprising and unpredictable. At the same time, we've got almost as many licenses as, a couple other companies out there combined, if you really count them up. And there's a lot of material already for us to work with, and we want to do right by that material and really make a great product. And you have to be careful. You don't want to end up with so much IP in the game that it becomes a big pot of a mess and you can't make any sense of it. But over the course of the future, the plan is definitely to build a franchise of titles that have a constant stream of interesting people in personalities, and whether they're athletes from other sports, racing or other sports that we haven't used yet. There's potential for that. We're actively working on it at all times. There's a lot of interest in it. I get hit from people, at least once a week. Hey, have you thought about RIP? Would you use it in the game? And I think it's cool. I mean, it's a good thing to have available to you, and we're going to look at it. But at the same time, if the game's not great, it's not going to matter how many different.
Right.
True.
And we're obsessed with the game. I mean, we're really obsessed with the details of the game, the animation, the input. It's a lot of hard work, and we want the games to be exceptional when they're played by people, and not just something that feels like a throwaway attempt to rehash an old genre. So
yeah, for sure. In terms of, I mean, and that totally makes 100% sense. I mean, obviously, if somebody's on the, somebody sees an ad, or like if they open up the App Store and they see that Ultimate Rivals is on there and they go like, oh, like LeBron James is standing right next to Brad Marchand and Alex Morgan. Like, what is this? What could this game possibly be? They might, click on it for the, the unique art style, or like, the diverse cast of characters, but they really stay because like the gameplay is airtight and it really like gives them that, like when I was playing it at PAX East and I got absolutely mollywopped by one of the BitFry employees. I went in there thinking I was hot shit, and I was like, I got this. Like, I am playing a genre that I know, and I was like, can I play against somebody who did not work on this game, please? Because I am
Wait
just
a
getting...
second. No. I watched you and Chris get spanked 2 years in a row at PAX on basketball.
That was Dunk
the
Lords.
arcade basketball game. Yeah, at Dunk Lords. I watched you both back-to-back years in a row.
I don't think there's any proof of that. No proof.
There's no proof.
Spanked. I have pictures of it, actually.
No, yeah, that's true.
That's not true at all.
Actually,
Why do you have pictures?
that was why Andy from Story Fort remembered us, because we went back 3 years in a row. But in our defense, the game was in development, and the controls and mechanics changed very slightly every year, and so it was tough to get used to. I'm just saying. But for Ultimate Rivals, I was like, man, this is rad. Like, you know, this is like, I'm having a great time here. Next thing I know, I'm down 0-3, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. What just happened here? And so, I mean, the game is like super fast paced. You know, it's really something else. Like, there is, quite honestly, I mean, even though there are like a handful of arcade sports games still out there, there really is nothing like it. I mean, like the combat mechanics that are woven in, you know, really took me by surprise, and I was like, okay, all right, I wasn't ready for that. I'm gonna be ready for the next one, but I wasn't ready for that.
Checking in the hockey, right? Like
yeah,
checking. Yeah, it's tight. I mean, we obsessed about that kind of detail. You know, the frame rate is 60 frames per second on the high end devices, and you know, we're doing it with basketball right now. We're just like, it's in a really strong place, and I think that's what makes games, right, and not movies, right? I mean, you can make something aesthetically beautiful, and we care about that. By the way, we put a lot of effort in that. We don't want, you know, we want to be the absolute best sports video game franchise on the market, even if, you know, it's not your genre. We want to objectively be the highest quality thing out there, aesthetically, gameplay, and just in terms of the experience. And that takes a lot of effort. You know, the IP is a huge bedrock for that, but the real work comes in tuning every little animation, every little camera thing that we obsess about. We spend, you know, countless hours working through, and I'm glad to hear that you notice it, because I think that's what makes, you know, over the course of generations, that's what makes games great.
Yeah.
You know.
Any thoughts of esports down the road? Maybe getting into the competitive scene. Can you see these games getting into that? Because I know like all these big time sports games now have these huge leagues behind them where there's like actual NBA teams and NFL teams sponsoring players and stuff like that. Yeah. Do you think that's a thought somewhere down the road?
I mean, it's funny. I mean, esports is, you know, obviously huge right now, and I don't think that's going to change ever. You know, when we built the company, we were very keen not to say we were building an esports company, because I think that's almost a consumer phenomenon. You need people to want to play competitively with your game. You can't try to orchestrate that. I think that's challenging. So we didn't really, you know, try to sell ourselves as that. But a lot of people, after releasing the Rink, have come up and said, oh, I want to stream this. I can't wait, you know, till basketball comes out, and I want to stream that, and I want to play competitively. And there's some things in the works, you know, around potential tournaments and things of that nature that I can't talk about yet, but I'll reveal on the next time I come on the show with my vocab list.
Love that. Love that.
All right.
So speaking about things that you might not be able to talk about one way or the other.
Yeah.
So Ultimate Rivals, the Rink is already out. You're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of that, right? That was December last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary, and you're celebrating that by releasing a whole other game. You get the Ultimate Rivals, The Court, which is coming out, and is that October or?
Can I just say something? How many studios can come out with such a polished game, one per year like that?
That's right, baby. Yep.
I mean, when you look at the other sports franchises that come out one per year, if you look at the last 3 years, everything is fucking broken.
Or
literally every game, or the same, or it's the same and broken.
It's hard to make games. Look, I'll say it's very hard to make games. It's harder than making movies. But I just think, I mean, everyone on the team at BitFry, you know, deserves a huge amount of respect.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. And then we're going to, you know, I can't get into the details because I know you're going there next, but, you know, we've got another sports channel coming out right after that. And, you know, we built the Rink in 8 months. You know, we're going to do more to it. We've done a lot to it since. And basketball, to your point, is coming out fairly shortly. It'll have had roughly only 12 months of development in it, and usually that's not a lot of months. But I'm fully confident that it's going to be a great game. And then I think you're about to ask me about another title with a license.
Ultimate Rivals, is it going to be called Ultimate Rivals? I don't even want to guess. I don't even. If you want to leak it on the podcast, just let me know. But so I put up a blog about this a couple weeks ago, wickedgoodgaming.com. You can go read that. But you guys did just lock down a partnership with the NFL Players Association. And obviously that means that you guys are working on a football title that is hopefully coming soon. Obviously, I know game development is hard, and we're probably about a year or more away from that. Any other little breadcrumbs or hints on things that you're specifically excited about with that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the possibility for a racing title in our franchise.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say more than that. And I don't think it's fine to even say that because I haven't said much. But I think there's a possibility for that. I would be excited by that. I happen to think that the arcade racing genre is another one that hasn't really been touched in a really creative way in a while. I mean, there's a million racing games out there, but if you go back to Power Drift from Sega, 1988. Amazing game that gets overlooked a lot. There's stuff that you can do in this space that are interesting, and imagine if you could race with all of your favorite athletes. I think that's interesting. So that's a breadcrumb. I don't know if that'll happen or not yet, but if it does, we'll leak it.
Hey, love that.
I'm already writing the blog right now.
You need any extra work?
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me with my vocabulary on the blog, Ben. By the way. So I feel like racing games, I'll end with that, at a big uptick right now. I think it's Heat 3 or Heat 4 that people are buying these legitimate setups for it. Yeah. That I feel like it's in an uptick. You know what game I can't wait for? Ultimate Rivals, the Octagon. That one's going to be really cool. That one's going to be pretty sick. I can't wait for that one.
LeBron James and Wayne Gretzky boxing. Think about it. I mean,
well, it's funny. I was watching a documentary on Punch-Out, Nintendo's Punch-Out the other night. It's pretty fascinating, what a cultural phenomenon that title was.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since you've had a really good boxing. I don't know. Have we had a really good boxing game in arcade? I don't think.
No.
Fight Night Round 3 was the last good boxing game to come out, and I was 8 years old.
You could play as the Burger King in that game.
All I remember is going to the movie theater, and they had the big virtual thing where you put the fake gloves on. God, looking at it now in 2020, the disgusting germs that were all over that thing. Ugh. But I'd be there at 9 years old, just sweating through my clothes as my dad's going to get popcorn. Yep. And then we have to walk into the theater, and I'm sweaty, and I probably smell, and we have to sit there. But man, that game was good.
Couldn't tell if it was the popcorn or Bob's armpits.
Yeah, one or the other. Cheddar all day.
Ooh, a little cheddar powder on the popcorn.
That's the best thing the movie theater ever did. They had those little jars of different flavoring you could put on them. Best thing they've ever done. Because I mean, a bag of popcorn's $86, so they might as well give you something to try to spice it up.
It's like that. Imagine if it wasn't a timer, and you had to put the air the tire machine, and you put a quarter in, and you could get as much cheese powder as you want, but then you have to put more money in. Oh man.
Or butter. Yeah, you just hold the button and it runs out. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so Ultimate Rivals The Court, it's coming later this year. Ultimate Rivals The End Zone is coming. I'll meet you up at the office. Is coming at some point in the near future. Who knows if we're gonna get, maybe we get Backyard Sports DLC. You get Mikey Thomas, Pablo Sanchez, get him in there. Keisha Phillips. Oh my God, a problem on the boards.
Oh yeah.
And then who knows? I mean, podcast DLC. You get me, Chris, and Bob, a hot little trio, on there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Anything. I mean, it is sort of like the Smash Brothers of sports. You hear that a lot. So
that's a good comparison. Yeah, I like that actually.
Why haven't I thought to describe it like that in any? We should have led with that. The beginning of we got to start the podcast. So we got to start the podcast.
Run it back. Chris, give us your definition of circuitous.
It's like a long, winding process.
Great, good job.
Long, if you will.
You've really grown.
Well,
Thank you. I feel smarter.
throughout this very circuitous conversation, we've learned a lot. How's that for a segue? Throughout this very circuitous conversation, we have learned a lot. We are so excited. I personally am like over the moon excited for the court. I love the rink, but I'm way better at arcade basketball games than I am at hockey. So the court, I'm like chomping at the bit to get my hands on it. I really, really can't wait. Later this year, and it's going to be Apple Arcade exclusive as well.
All our games are so we're on Apple Arcade. We will be coming to console as well.
Oh, nice.
Console and potentially PC.
Okay.
And the target date for that right now is sometime in 2021. And we'll leak it on the podcast when we have more information.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. See, this is it. This is a true friend of the program here.
We're just gonna leak it all on the. You know what? We're just gonna. From now on, we're just gonna use the podcast.
That's
Yeah,
right.
when you want to leak something, just give us a buzz.
This is
Leak it right
Before even sending out like developer diary videos and stuff to all the press, just be like, look, guys, we're shipping this stuff out next week. Let me get on the show this week.
Back on. Yeah.
You guys need to call Dom, Chris, and Bob, and they will let you know what's coming next for the company. They are.
Yeah.
Just an idea, just like I'm not a member of the BitFry marketing team, but I'm thinking when you guys do the console announcement, you should be behind like a big press table, and you have like the Apple Arcade like hat. There's like 4 hats, and they have like the Xbox logo, the PlayStation logo, like a Steam logo or something, and you go to like be like, oh, the next game will the next platform we're launching on, and you go and like put like a draft hat on with the console symbol. The crowd goes wild.
That'd be cool.
I'm just saying, it's free.
I like that.
Free ideas.
You know what? Our CMO doesn't even let me do marketing, so I don't know if I'm going to get that through him.
It's all right. Just give me his cell phone number. I'll give him a ring, and we'll just.
Yeah, but like if you tell him it already leaked on a podcast, I feel like he kind of has to, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what choice do you have? Listen, we already said it, so we can't go back. But yeah, Ben, thank you so much for coming by. We really, really appreciated your time, and it was such a blast talking to you about arcade sports, about vocabulary lessons, about Ultimate Rivals, and we absolutely cannot wait to see what's next.
I appreciate you having me, and I hope you start practicing on Baseball Simulator 1000.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Bob.
I don't know.
Bob gets this crazy look in his eye when people are like, like you're not better at this game than I am, and he might show up next episode with his beard 3 times the length. He's like, I haven't gone outside, and
well, that's for a fact that's going to happen. I'm not going to go outside for the next 3 weeks.
That's true.
In all seriousness, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, this was great, and like I said, you're a card carrying friend of the program now, so you come back on whenever, and we'll look forward to having you back on soon.
We will do it. We'll talk about the court.
Absolutely.
We need you got to plug everything. You got to plug everything.
Before you go, plug everything. Where can everybody find everything?
You can play Ultimate Rivals The Rink right now on Apple Arcade, and we'll let you know when the court's out, and you'll be able to do the same there as well.
Sweet.
Also, ultimaterivals.com is the website, and BitFry is the studio.
All right, cool. Ben Freidlin, CEO, good guy, friend of the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you next time.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Ben Freidlin, CEO, good guy, friend of the program, friend in real life. I think we're real life friends now automatically. I think we're ready to give him that. I don't know. Maybe
where's their studio again? Is it in Maine?
It's in New Hampshire. It's in New Hampshire. Yeah, they're a hop, skip, and a jump.
Once all this fucking COVID shit ends, we're just gonna have to go up there and hang out.
I mean,
I have to go up there and hang out.
Absolutely. It's not.
When I say up there, I mean fly 6 hours from Wisconsin over.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Up there, like in the air on an airplane. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Up, physically up there, over.
Up and
to
over.
New Hampshire.
Up and over to like somewhere like northeast rather. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, we can go northwest first, and then circle back around over like Canada if we want to.
Yeah. Right.
Stop in Montreal. So, is no one going to talk about how handsome Ben was?
I mean, we can talk about it. We're going to start a dialogue.
I mean, the camera work. I mean, I don't know what he was drinking, but it looked super sophisticated. The vocabulary. What a guy. I love that guy. Ben, my man.
What a guy. What a guy. We got to send him a shirt. We're going to make a friend of the program shirt, I think.
That'll be hilarious.
We've talked about this before. We've 100% talked about this before.
An official, exclusive friend of the program shirt, and we'll just have to send that over now. So that was Ben Freidlin, CEO of BitFry Games, all around great guy. Cannot wait to have him back on. We're going to be leaking all kinds of shit all over the place on the podcast for Ultimate Rivals: The Court when that comes out. And then who knows? I mean, listen, he didn't say no to implementing us into the game as DLC.
True.
He
basically he threw rumors out that we're going to be next. You know,
I mean, nothing, right? I'm a moron. Everyone gets that. I feel like I was asking some questions that were resonating. I think I was on with something.
Wait. What was that word that you just used?
Stop. Chris, what word did you just use?
Resonating?
No. Did you use a different word?
I said resonating.
You said
resignating.
I was fired up. I did say that. I'm under the microscope, man. I can't say a goddamn word.
Did you just say microscope?
We're not doing this.
I'm under the microscope, he said.
All right, I'm gonna keep it a band. I say resignated on the regular. For some reason I thought that was the word, but whatever. Let's move on. You guys want to talk about something else?
The episode title is going to be Under the Microscope. That's going to be the episode title.
Not say microscope.
No. It's going to be Bob dunked on Wayne Gretzky.
Oh my god. Well, so yeah, I think we got time for one more quick topic. I mean, we're coming up on. I think we just crossed the hour. But
Chris, what the fuck?
We could do some quick like PS5 impressions and then get to voicemails. What do you guys think?
I'm cool with whatever.
All right.
Or people could just go watch our live reaction at youtube.com/WickedGaming.
They could do that. So let's talk about the other one then.
You guys fine with that? If you're interested in our PlayStation 5 reactions, you could watch the live reaction at youtube.com/WickedGaming. We're good with that?
Yeah.
I'm
All
cool
right.
with that.
Let us talk about the fact that Twitch is now rolling mid-roll ads in streams. We have officially gone to cable television, everybody. We are now in the day and age where the internet is cable television.
And we'll be back right after this ad from Twitch. Yeah, that fucking stinks, dude. I actually just like the thing that I've been seeing on Twitter like this week has been like people reposting like classic Twitch clips and ruining the comedic timing by putting an ad right in the middle of it. Like, do you ever see the clip? I can't remember the name of the streamer, but it's like she's watching a video of this cute little bunny and they get shot with an arrow.
It's like Neogorix, I think is her name.
Yeah. And so she's watching it, and just before the rabbit gets, she's like, "Oh, look!" And then it just goes like, "Raid Shadow Legends exclusively on iOS."
All right, so with mid rolls, obviously we see the issue with them, right? Where if someone
Hold on, time out, Chris. Something just popped in my head.
Okay.
We need to do a segment or a YouTube video called Under the Microscope with Chris P.
I didn't say microscope. Where's that coming from? Microscope.
We have Under the Microscope with Chris P. We're doing a video series on YouTube.
Okay, so we have to have a guest on every time with the first name Michael.
Oh, Chris said it. I mean, Steve said it. Steve said it in chat.
Yeah, so I'm once again, I can't play Among Us with you guys. I can't speak in front of you guys. I get targeted with everything. Bananas. Okay,
Steve came up with it. So me, you, and Steve, we're going to be producing Under the Microscope with Chris P.
Okay, like I said, there has to be a guest whose first name is Michael on every one. It only makes sense. Cool. Okay, so mid-rolls. We obviously see the problem with them if you're watching something with your stream or playing something that had like a single-player game, right? Or even a multiplayer game. If you do something sick and like a mid-roll comes, yeah, that's a pain in the ass, but I don't believe it's a thing for subscribers. So while it plays to Twitch's favorite majority, it's in like incentivizing people to sub to streams. So
Yep. I'm
saying like I see where the thought is on the whole thing, but there's already ads at the beginning of the stream. Stopping it midway through to run another one in there, it's a lot. Like that would piss me off. I'd click off immediately, just like on YouTube videos. When I watch one at the beginning, whatever, like I don't have the ad block or anything on. I support the creator, yada yada, whatever it is. when they throw like 5 in between it, I don't watch it. When you see the little yellow sliver, I just can't make it through that. So I don't like it. It makes sense to me from like a making money standpoint for both the creator, the streamer, whatever, and Twitch. But it's gonna piss a lot of people off, as it already is.
I genuinely think it de-incentivizes people exploring throughout the platform. I think it's going to shoehorn people who are subscribed into their channels just into those channels, and they're not going to go try to find other people. Because if you go to find, say, if you're watching, so for example, Among Us is huge right now. Say one of your favorite streamers you're subscribed to, they talk about it. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to go play Among Us tomorrow night," and in your head, you're like, "Okay, cool. I'm going to go watch someone who's streaming it right now. I'll get a good feel for this." And then you go watch fucking XQC and you're getting mid-roll ads left and right. And it's like, why? Fuck this. I don't ever want to watch this guy anymore because of this. Like, it de-incentivizes people exploring the rest of the content creators on their platform. It's literally locking people into subscribers, like whoever you're subscribed to.
You know what it is? Twitch signed Shroud, and then Ninja got the bag after some negotiations with a bunch of different streaming platforms, and then they looked at their bottom line, their bankroll at the end of the after they signed them, like, boys, hit up those advertisers. We got to do something. We got to make this money back. We just spent $100 million on 2 people. We got to do something. So this is them just trying to grab more money.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put that out of the fucking realm of possibility. That is, they just threw money away at 2 people.
Well, that's the thing, right? Where it's an investment within the platform. If you're dropping this money on a streamer, hoping that they bring their audience over with them, in your back pocket, like if you have a website that gets millions of clicks per week, per day, that like you can make those investments because you can easily make that up with more advertising. That's your money. Advertising is the money to these people, like to these websites at least. I don't know Twitch necessarily, but they have that in their back pocket. If they want to double down on ads, they can easily just pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, do you want to have a mid-roll too? Okay, great. Give us X $100,000."
I've seen a lot of like mid to top tier streamers arguing for the point that they want to have the option to turn it on or off. So if they flip the switch and say, "Yeah, fuck it, throw mid-roll ads on," obviously they're going to make more money because of this.
Mhm.
But if they value the content that they're putting forward and the viewer base that they currently have while they're creating that content, they're going to shut it off and be like, "Look, I don't want to fucking scare people away from me, Like,
Yeah.
if you're here because you want to enjoy what I'm doing for you. So, cool. Watch. If you want to subscribe, that's sick, but give us as creators that option."
And like, even if
Twitch
it's
is not going to, I don't think Twitch is going to do that.
no chance, because it'll be mandatory, right? For all streamers on their platform, it's going to be mandatory. The least they can do is give creators the opportunity to pick when they do it midstream, so they can warn people that are there. Like, okay, guys, I have to run an ad. Here we go. I'll be right back in 60 seconds. And I saw creators talking about it too. It might have been Lupo. Don't quote me on it, but I remember him talking to Nick Merckx, or someone was talking to Nick, and they're like, "Yeah, it gives us the ability to actually get up and stretch. So like, it's not bad for us. Yes, you're gonna lose out on people leaving your stream, but from like a being able to get up standpoint, you can do that. But a lot of streamers don't do it. So I see that. But at the very least, I feel like these streamers should be able to pick when they do their mid-roll. Like, they should have down the bottom, like, "Hey, you owe a mid-roll within this like half-hour span. Okay, I'm gonna do it at 10. Okay, guys, it's now 9:59. I'm gonna be running an ad right now. I'll be back in 60 seconds." You should be able to have that heads up instead of just like hitting.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it. I understand as a business they need to make money, but that like streamers already have the opportunity. Like, we have the opportunity to run fucking ads. Like, we could stop and hit run ad right now, and you can get your Raid Shadow Legends ad, and we'll make 32 cents off of it.
yeah, you could even maybe even give the streamer like a timer and say like you need to manually, like, you have the option to manually run an ad, but it has to be once an hour or something, or like once every 3 hours or something like that, to like go within the, not just like cram a second ad. Like, what if I do an hour stream just like before work or something like that, and I want to just like get some time with the community in, and all of a sudden now they're gonna get hit with 2 fucking ads like in 30 minutes? Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
My biggest thing, honestly, like, and I get it, like, they're a business, they need to make money. Granted, they're fucking bankrolled by Jeff Bezos, so like, I mean, are they really fucking hurting? But my biggest thing is shoehorning people to your subscription service just to avoid extra ads, because YouTube started doing that, and I subscribed to YouTube Premium to avoid ads, and now I'm being told, and like, you know, telling people are telling me that like there's double ads in between, and like you got to watch more than one in a fucking short video. And with the long form content on YouTube, like, you know, all the video essays that are on there, and I watch a ton of those. Alt Shift X is one of my favorite accounts, and he does like hour-plus long Game of Thrones lore like video essays. Like, that's insane. That's insanity, and that's why people that's why people went away from fucking TV to go to like a digital video marketplace in the first place. And so, like, Twitch, like you were saying, Chris, at the top, where you were like, well, at least subscribers don't have to do that, and that'll push people towards a subscription. That's all fine and good, and that'll result in more money from the content creator. But like, I would rather them subscribe because they like the shit, not subscribe because they're trying to dodge ads. You know?
Yeah.
And that just like puts a bad taste in my mouth, because now I'm like, all right, well, fucking cool. Thanks for subscribing because you didn't want to watch the ad. Like,
look at what Just said too. I mean, this is a prime example. Ninja had Ford during an Among Us stream last weekend while they were trying to debate when they were debating the kill. So that game in particular, that's the whole basis of the game. Find out who the killer is. And people that are playing with these creators from like their chat and from watching them live stream, they're trying to figure it out as well. That's like the type of game. It's a mystery game. So when that happens, that would piss me the fuck off. It just ruined me sitting here for whatever 25 minutes trying to figure it out, and now it's up to the final vote, and I get an ad for 60 seconds, and I miss out on like the debating and stuff like that. That's a pain in the ass.
that shit is crazy. So at the end of the day, we all are in agreement that we don't like it.
Yes.
It's a fucking, I hate it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Hate it, but I get it. But you also have to give your creators these options. Like, you see all of these YouTube content creators that fucking blast back at YouTube whenever they fuck up, because there's everything's gray. There's no black and white. There's no like ones or zeros when it comes to YouTube content creation. It's all fucking gray. So when they fuck up somewhere, but they don't hold that same standard somewhere else, every fucking YouTube creator is like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you let us have a say in this? Let Twitch creators have a say in it. Be different from fucking YouTube, because YouTube's already become the next fucking form of cable. Twitch is slowly becoming that too.
Yeah. Money.
Money. I'm Woody. Howdy.
Howdy.
All right. Well,
What a fucking sick burn, though.
that's the sickest burn in the history of cinema. So let's just sandwich this just brief delve into negativity with little beautiful voicemails from our listeners. How about that?
Let's do it.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the number, you know what time it is. 617-701-7678. That is 617-701-7678. SOST, Sauced, the WGG Internet Dad Sauce line. Leave us a voicemail and we'll respond live on the show. We want you to give us a call, leave a voicemail, we'll listen to it live and respond as long as it doesn't get us TOS. It can be a question, a topic suggestion, relationship advice, a compliment, a roast, whatever you want. So give us a call. Once again, that number is 617-701-7678. And thank you, Binge, for the 5 subs, you absolute savage.
Also shout out Brylan. Also shout out Nora, who resubbed earlier tonight.
Hey.
And then I think one other person subbed beforehand, and I cannot fucking remember who it was because we can't go back and check.
Yep, that's true. All right, first caller. What up?
What is up, WGG fam, founding fathers, and Mr. Ben from BitFry Games? It's your boy JB Genesis calling in with another weekly voicemail. I've got some individual questions for you guys this week. So Bob and Chris, what's your favorite vape juice flavor? What you got going on in your mod right now? Mr. Papa Dom, what's your favorite wine to drink? And then for Mr. Ben from BitFry Games, a classic WGG question. I hope it doesn't get asked during the pod. But if you had to describe Ultimate Rivals as a cocktail or alcoholic drink, what would it be? and why.
Shit.
Thanks,
Chris,
guys. Much love.
get him back.
Love the pod
Tom,
as
get him
always.
back. Tom, get him back.
Peace.
Tell him we need him for 5 minutes.
I need him. I just see he's away on Discord. Shit. All right. I'm gonna. Well, JB, we owe you an answer on that. So I will
It was
definitely.
Red Squanto. I'm sorry to cut you off. It was Red Squanto who subbed. She upped it to tier 2.
Hey,
Perfect.
shout out to you. I will get the answer for that. Also, I think that question. You know what? We actually are owed a really good answer for that because when I interviewed, I can't remember who it was that I interviewed at PAX East for Ultimate Rivals. I did ask that question and he didn't really have a straightforward answer. So we do. Shit. We gotta get. All right. Next time we'll get him on that. But for me, my favorite wine to drink. I like 19 Crimes. I like a good red blend.
I drank a bottle of 19 Crimes last week, and I got another one in my kitchen.
It's beautiful. 19 Crimes, The Banished is really good. That's like the blend that's aged in bourbon barrels. And
Yes. That was the one I drank last week, and I got drunk while I cooked dinner, and I almost burnt the house down.
Yo, those bottles are sick too. I like the look of those. Those are cool.
Big fan.
As for my vape juice, I have strawberry kiwi at the moment. One of my favorites. I catch myself running through like 3 pods of it a day. Not good for the addiction, but it tastes really good, man. I can't hold back. So yeah, strawberry kiwi is my new favorite. If it's not that one, I have like this blue raspberry slushy one, which is pretty gas, but it gets me woozy. I feel like I'm booted after I take a rip of it. It's nuts.
What do I have? A Neapolitan ice cream flavor.
No way.
Ooh.
Yep.
What comes through? The chocolate, the strawberry, vanilla?
Mostly chocolate strawberry. No, you can't really tell the fucking vanilla. It's overpowered by everything else.
Oh, you're a classy broad, man. I like you.
Damn fucking right. I'm lactose intolerant. I can't eat ice cream, so I have to fucking inhale it.
Bob takes a puff of his vape and shits his pants because it has like notes of ice cream.
Gotta take a what's the thing for Lactaid before you fucking vapes it. All right, next
That
call.
hurts, guys. That hurts.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tiggy, your far away degenerate. And you know what time it is? It's big time Dawny time. Yeah. And, we got Dr. Bob over there, #1 success rate as imposter. Yeah, on Twitch.tv. And we have consoleless Chris over there crying because he can't play Cold War Alpha this weekend. Oh, man, that's rough. And we have Mr. Benny in the Jets. Yeah. That's what makes you guys the Jets, which means terrible at football. But, moving on. We're talking Hogwarts, mystery, RPG, whatever it's called. Yeah, so super looking forward to, a potential blog from you guys going up. I would love to, reply with my thoughts because, I'm super excited. I wish there was a little more. Not really what I'm super hoping for. I don't know if you guys do, like, community blogs. That'd be a cool idea. Anyway, but since, 4 of you guys there talking Harry Potter a little bit, I guess, let's say it's your first day of Hogwarts, and what house do you guys each think you're getting sorted into? A little hypothetical. Anyways, love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Peace.
It's a very good question. As soon as I heard Harry, first of all, Tiki, stop fucking rubbing it in. I'm very upset. Second of all, as soon as I heard Harry Potter, I knew this is where it was going to go. I actually had this conversation with my buddies last weekend where we picked what house everyone would be in. So I don't want to be the one that's. Should we pick one for each other, or should we say what we think? And then, we'll pick one for ourselves and then say what the other people should be.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
So I think I'd be in Ravenclaw, strictly because I don't belong in Hufflepuff. That's all dumb. Slytherin, I feel like that's more Bob Speed. Oh my god, I'm forgetting Harry Potter's. Holy shit! Hold on.
You don't know what the last one is.
Oh my god, hold on. I'm drawing a blank.
Chris, you were.
I think I'm dying.
Circuitous time frame.
I think I'm dying.
Which one is Harry Potter in?
Come on.
Why am I forgetting this?
It's like a lion with wings.
That's not gonna help him. That's not gonna help him.
It's definitely not gonna help him. P tier. P tier.
Who's the protagonist? Wait, you don't know that word. Who's the main character of Family Guy?
All right, I got it. Now, honestly, I'm kind of worried now that I couldn't think of that.
I'm honestly like I don't even know if I'm capable of laughing at this because I'm legitimately fucking concerned for you. Do you know the name of it?
I thought I did.
Okay, so let's play this game. Ready? Let's play this game. So, who's the main character of Family Guy, Chris?
Oh, Gryffindor. Shit.
Oh my god.
I was going to say Peter Griffin, and Peter Griffin, when he goes into his house, he uses the
Wow. All right. I'm.
Door
door.
handle.
Yeah, it's Gryffindor.
Handle.
Yeah. I'm such a moron.
Griffin handle.
I kick me off the show. Take everything. 50-50 for you guys now. I'm actually beside myself.
Easy enough. Easy enough.
All right, so you want to be a Ravenclaw because you don't know the name of all the other houses. Bob, what about you?
I mean, I feel like it's safe to say I'm in Slytherin, right? We can all agree upon that.
Yeah, you're kind of a snake, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we're the best at everything, so it makes sense. Chris, you unfortunately didn't get into Hogwarts this year, so you're gonna have to reapply next year. So you're not. So you're not in a house yet. So
No, I'm already in. I'm in. If I was in, though, hypothetically.
yeah,
What would I be in?
Hufflepuff.
you're reapplying next year. That's the thing.
You're probably a Hufflepuff.
You didn't, Chris. You did not pass.
You're a
Chris,
Hufflepuff.
you didn't pass the entrance exam. You're not in.
Fine. Have fun, guys. I bet it's a blaster. Oh, Hermione, I said hello.
And I gotta go ahead and say Dom's in Gryffindor, and we have a nice little rivalry going. And then Chris is in the stands watching us play. What the fuck is the sport? I don't fucking that. I don't remember. Quidditch. Dude, I used to watch when I was at Suffolk. When I lived at Suffolk for 1 year, I used to watch all the fucking Emerson kids play Quidditch in the Commons, and it was embarrassing. All they had to do was walk around and tell everybody, "Hey, none of us have sex." That's it.
Bob, do you think you'd be good at Quidditch?
No, maybe as a goalie.
You know what? You know how they're all on their like broomsticks and stuff? You know what you'd be doing? You'd have a whole ass tree that you would have to use.
Jesus Christ.
What's Gumby's horse's name, Chris?
I don't know.
Pokey.
Pokey. Chris would be flying around on Pokey.
Pokey Maine, baby.
I think it's Pokey anyway. Gumby's horse.
It's ever no Sim September
Pokey,
here.
yeah. A talking red horse who is he's Gumby's sidekick.
Chris, who is Chris's broomstick.
Gumby's
People
favorite.
who are practicing no simp September, they're slacking so hard. Everyone's not simping. I'm simping harder than ever. I'm catching everyone lacking right now.
Oh my god. All right, last voicemail.
No, Dom, you gotta go.
Wait, am I supposed to? What you said I was going to be in Gryffindor?
No,
Yeah, but
you have to pick yours. You have to pick what yours is, and then pick what we are in.
Oh, okay. I think I did a test on like Facebook like 15 years ago that definitely stole all my personal information and told me I was going to be a Ravenclaw. But I guess as I got older, I think like Gryffindor would be cool. I feel like there's I feel like Gryffindor or Ravenclaw because I consider myself kind of like a one of the more bookish people that I know. So I feel like I could end up in Ravenclaw and fit in there pretty good. But I feel like we never got any cool characters in Ravenclaw in the movies or in the books. So like you don't even know. Like I don't know what those people are like. All I know is
Like me.
who is the girl that like Harry Potter really liked in one of the books, and she was a Ravenclaw. But I feel like we didn't even know who she was. So we don't really know like what they're all about. But I'll be a Gryffindor all day. That sounds great. Yeah, Bob, I mean, I'd say Slytherin, and Chris, you're like a Hufflepuff. I don't know.
I respectfully disagree.
I disagree. I don't even know, and that's the other thing, too. Like, I don't really know what a Hufflepuff is. Like, people, like, would be like, oh, this is like when people make up fucking astrological signs. They're like, oh, Mercury's in fucking Escalades again, like, so I must be doing something,
Fucking charities and Gatorade right now.
Yeah, just... Thank you, Brad, for the gifted subs, brother.
Brad!
Kid is definitely wearing his Wicked Good Gaming hoodie right now.
Steve goes, we have mango jewel pods in Hufflepuff.
I'm Hufflepuff then, baby. Hufflepuff till I die. You're up the H's, boys. Hufflepuff, baby.
Oh my god. Mercury's in Everglades, dude. We're going ham right now.
Mercury's in marmalade.
Jess is like probably the only person in the chat who like cares about Zodiac, and she's shaking right now that we're getting this all jumbled up. Mercury in Poland Spring.
Lemonade. Mercury and lemonade right now.
Ooh. All right. Is that everything? Let's do one more voicemail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boys, just caught up on the recent episode of the podcast. Getting ready to set up my Thrive account for that sweet free $25. Got some good news this week.
What happened?
Just for us viewers, but bad news for Bob. So, good news is, I would really like to see more Zoltan Bob's Guess My Game. I really get a kick out of that segment. It's great listening for that signature Chris question and then hearing Dom just pull the team on his back and carry him to victory. And for the bad news for Bob, it's been months since Animal Crossing New Horizons has been out, and not one microtransaction has been introduced to the game.
Wait. Sorry, I
I was going to say, is that
I believe he is due to eat a very, very spicy wing. Best of luck, guys. Appreciate the podcast. As always, glad to see you growing. Have a good one. Peace.
Man.
Who was that?
Cole,
I think that was Cole.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Didn't say at the beginning of the call.
Yeah, I mean, he is right. I was actually thinking about that the other day. We never ate the wing. Well, that's because a fucking global pandemic broke out.
It's true. That's
literally that was like a cosmic. That was the universe being like putting, you know, like the mom arm. If like your mom hits the brakes and has to like put her arm in front of you so you don't go. That was like the universe doing that to Bob, like and being like, no, it's
specifically,
okay.
Specifically, the planets aligning. Go see a GI doctor before you do anything else. You need to go get your colon checked.
Yeah. I did.
I still want to see it. And I'm down to play the game.
I have no problem eating it. I put the video of me doing the Death Nut challenge in the Discord.
Death Nut.
And that was fucking horrible.
What a way to go.
That's still yet to experience a Death Nut.
That's how I want to go.
Oh, me too, dude. Oh man, imagine that, dude. The nut's so good you just die. Oh man, what a way to go out. Yo, I'd be up in heaven, like, what's up, boys? They're like, oh, why you here? Like, yo, the nut, man. The death nut.
And someone's like, what are you, allergic to peanuts or something?
Nah, the nut was just so good, man. Just stuff through.
Oh shit, man. Wow. What a time, you know? What a time. That's all we got for voicemails. Thank you guys for calling in. As always, make sure that you leave some voicemails. 617-701-7678. That's 617-701-7678. The WGG Internet Dad Sauce Line. You guys want to land the train?
Yes, sir.
Big shout out to Ben Freidlin, CEO at BitFry Games, for coming by. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Everybody at BitFry has always been super good to us. And the games are great. The people are great. There's no reason not to support them. So if you're not, if you haven't already tried out Ultimate Rivals: The Rink, go check that out. It's on Apple Arcade. Awesome game. Great for fans of hockey. Great for fans of any arcade sports games. And it's just a really accessible, enjoyable title, even if you don't find yourself usually involved with those genres. So big shout out to you. Can't wait to have you back on. And can't wait for leaks on the podcast. Really looking forward to that. And that's all I got. Chris, who you want to shout out?
JB just had a really funny joke. He said if Bob said his name, it would be Ben Freidlin's.
Yep.
As for shoutouts, I don't have anything. If you do want a shout out from me, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Really helps us within the rankings. If you don't want to say anything on it, that's totally fine. Just tap the 5 stars. If you do want to write something, I will read it live. It could be a roast. It could be a compliment question. As long as that doesn't get us TOS, your boy will read it out as best as I possibly can. That's what I got. Bob, what do you got?
Shout out to, let's see. Hold on. We got a couple, actually. Thomas Garcia commenting on one of our videos. 041, Very Hot Girls Online.
Ooh.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Pokesimp commenting, Bob. Yeah.
Is that Chris's burner?
I don't know.
My alt.
No way, because he would never leave a comment like this. Bob, #1 Among Us player in the world. Facts.
Bob went on Fiverr and paid someone to do that.
Facts. Lucci TV, Wikiga Gaming, let's go. Shout out Luch. Julian commented on the PlayStation event. PlayStation over Xbox, no shame. Dom's about to be a PlayStation guy this gen. JB also commented on that video. Glad the gang was able to get together for this. And we're also getting more subscribers, but they're not popping up in the notifications. So if you have recently subscribed and it hasn't popped up and I haven't been able to shout you out, let me know, because I will. Because for some reason it's not popping up on YouTube. Also, shout out to Kyle aka Flex King. He did a motivational stream last week. We all missed it because we were all too busy watching football and drinking like degenerates. But next time, we should all be better and we should all go check it out. So,
Yeah.
shout out to
Love
Kyle.
that.
Shout out to Brad for being absolutely fucking abysmal at Among Us and giving me so many good fucking clips because I am going to make a montage of Brad fucking up. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be 4 minutes of Brad making stupid plays.
The music you could have in the background too, it could be so funny, like a big tuba sound, like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Brad's ballsy in that game, man. Like Brad looked at me in the eyes one game and just clicked the vent button and went in. I was like, literally stopped, stared at me for a second, just went right into the vents.
Dude, he's out here fucking murdering people live on cam in front of everybody. He just doesn't give a fuck. and I go, Brad.
Top frag, baby.
Brad, come on. What's going on? And he's like, fuck you. I thought I was going to be able to kill you right afterwards.
I mean, the kid's so high playing the game, he doesn't know what's going on.
True. But shout out to Brad because that is fucking hilarious. Who else? We got more. Shout out to Aurora Nora and Freya Solvig. We've been getting a bunch of fucking Among Us games in, melding communities currently over Among Us. So that's nice. You know, everyone's streaming, everyone's enjoying the game.
Oh yeah.
Chris stinks though. Chris is actually pretty bad at the game.
There was no reason to throw that in at the end right there. I thought we were all good to go. I mean, you and I were having laughs, chopping it up about Brad, and then you have to throw that little dig in.
You're not that bad. You're learning. Okay?
I'm not that bad. Everyone just hates me when I play the game. I just want to play.
You do have horrible luck when it comes to that.
So this
you either die first, or you don't say anything and get voted off, or you do say something and get voted off. You just have terrible luck.
The thing is, everyone is so trigger happy. They hear the word Chris and they're like, "Yep, good enough for me," and they just tap it. I can't even defend myself. Uninstall. Thank you for the free fucking 1.5 gigabytes on my hard drive that I have now. I'll play.
I can't wait.
This.
Let's play after this.
Yeah, no,
Chris, do you want to stream it this time and I won't?
No, it's gonna be boring as hell. I'm so bad.
Fine, I'll fucking stream it.
Well, that's all we got. That was episode 198 of Not Into the Gaming Podcast. Just a heads up. Wait, what?
Do we want to announce what we're doing this weekend?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just a heads up.
Oh, okay.
We have a double header this week, so you might think to yourself, I would love to watch more than one episode of Not Into the Gaming Podcast this week. And you know what? We are here to tell you that you're in for a fucking treat because we got a double header. This week, episode 199 is actually coming to you on Sunday. That is Sunday the 20th? Sunday the 20th. Episode 199 will be featuring the co-founder of Dexerto and head of content for Dexerto, Mike Kent, coming at us live from across the pond from the United Kingdom. My man, Mike Kent, is going to be coming on the show, celebrating episode 199 with us. Already a friend of the program. He's not on yet. Hasn't been on yet, but already a friend of the program. We love Dexerto. We love those guys. And we love Mike.
A.k.a. Dexterto.
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 He pronounces it Deserto. And that's
Dax Shepard.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
it's pronounced Deserto. That's what it is. It's actually Deserto.
Deserto. Yeah, that's it. That's what
Deserto.
I need a little Deserto right now. You know what I mean? Little Deserto before I go to bed. A little whipped cream on a little like pumpkin pie or something. Feel real fall right now. Oh. So Deserto is coming this week. So co-founder of Deserto is coming on the number one gaming podcast, number one esports website on the internet, number one gaming podcast on the internet, just like this. As one, baby. So Deserto, Mike Kent, co-founder, head of content, he is coming on this Sunday. Sunday. Kids seats only $5. Worcester DCU Center. Gravedigger. It's on.
Keep going. Keep going.
We're
gonna follow it up by Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Huck Jam.
Gravedigger, the Boom Boom Huck Jam this Sunday. That's see all your favorites. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look up like monster truck names. I don't know any of them.
That's all I got actually.
Sunday, a doubleheader, the number one gaming podcast on the internet. Deserto, Mike Kent, featuring the Gravedigger. Kid seats only $5. So yeah, kid seats only $5. Friday is episode 199. I'm sorry, Sunday is episode 189. Friday is when you're listening to the show right now, if you're listening to the pre-recorded version, and you only have to wait like 48 hours for a new episode. And then we'll probably just post the episode that night, or maybe we'll do it that Monday. Anyway, no show on the 24th. So the 24th, which is when we would normally record the show, that Thursday, we will not have a show midweek. Instead, we're going to record it super early and do it on Sunday, so you get a little doubleheader. And then, your internet fathers will need to rest our vocal cords until the big episode 200.
We're going to have to figure something out. We're going to have to figure out something interesting to do for it.
Episode 200 is right on October 1st. So...
Costumes.
Ooh, costumes. Maybe we should get every guest that we've ever had on the podcast on at the same time.
No, I have another idea. We'll talk about it offline.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we can just announce where we're signed. No man.
I mean, well, yeah. Well, we'll announce our new likenesses in BitFry Games' next upcoming title. We'll leak that.
True.
We'll leak that. But yeah, so episode 199 is coming at you on the 20th, and then episode 200 is going to be on the 1st of October. So be on the lookout for that. We love you guys very much. We cannot wait for this weekend for the little doubleheader with Mike Kent. Big thank you once again to Ben Freidlin for coming on the show. Go check out Ultimate Rivals if you haven't already. Also, one final shout out. Big shout out to all of our listeners in Hong Kong right now, because we are currently, and we have been all week, we have been on the top 100 gaming podcasts in Hong Kong. So big shout out to all the Hong Kong PAC members out there. Make yourselves known. I don't know if there's any like cool sayings that they say in Hong Kong that like make me sound like how do you do, fellow kids? But big shout out to Hong Kong, because we got a lot of love out there right now. HK, stand up.
We have broken top 50 in what? The UK, Canada, Hong Kong,
Yep.
Panama, Australia,
Canada.
How I said Canada already. So how many more countries do we have to break top 50 before the US finally puts us back in the top 50? Because we were number 32, I think, on Spotify at one point.
32
When
earlier.
Spotify fucked us.
And then no, it wasn't Spotify. It was fucking what was the podcast host that we had last?
Podbean.
Fucking
Yeah,
Podbean.
shafted us.
Coming to your fucking neck.
All right. That does it. Episode 198. Episode 199 is coming at you on the 20th, and then on the 1st of October is our big 200 episode celebration. We love you so much, and we will see you next week. Well, or this Sunday. We'll see you this Sunday.
Yes, exactly. Also, stick around. We might be streaming Among Us for a little bit after this.